morning, friends. It's a Tuesday morning in March. It's our 171st show, and I thought I'd do a little bit of guitar picking early on, a couple of songs, older songs that I worked out some guitar things. I'm going to drop detuning so I can do these octaves. Just this morning, you were moving to another town, and I wondered just in passing if your head had turned around. There were moments in the sunlight, there were weekends in the rain, evenings in the country will never come again. You're a dreamer who needed spaces. I'm an actor who needed lines. So we both moved into confusion. But I remember another time that there were moments in the sunlight, weekends in the rain, evenings in the country that will never come again. There'll be other ears to listen. There'll be other songs to sing. If I don't think of you that often, I'll remember just the same that there were moments in the sunlight, weekends in the rain, evenings in the country that will never come again, that will never come again. Whoa, 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 will you remember? Just the same, just the same. Moments, yeah. That's an old one I wrote first. I think it's the first. Maybe, no, I think maybe it's Life Is Like That recording. Yeah, and this is a song that I didn't write, but Pete Seeger told me about. We were. I don't exactly remember when. I think we did a benefit concert here in the Hudson Valley. And he said, I heard this song by Howie Burson. Do you know Howie? And I said, I know him. He's a great banjo player, and he's the husband of Sally Rogers, who I know pretty well. And he goes, well, he wrote this really great song. You should look it up. It's called The Small Business Blues. So I did, and had a great time figuring out the guitar part for it. It goes like this. Lunch Zip's Diner the other day. Got a dollar bill for my change. And the word scribbled under old George's picture, well, it made me feel sad and strange. They said, good luck, Joe, and written down low, they said, we wish you all of the best. Now Joe's out of luck, and his very first buck's gone down the drain with the rest. First dollar on the wall, make you feel like standing tall. Got your future in your hands, proud to be a citizen of this land. Then they put in the mall, selling all kinds of junk like plastic Korean shoes. And all the hard-working folk watch a business go broke. I got the small business blues. Don't say America's gone lazy, it's the economy gone crazy. If we don't change, we're gonna lose. Got the small business blues. I was working in a textile printing plant, making lots of money back in '68. By '75, we doubled production, but the bank says, too late. 300 families thrown out of work, shut down by a plant overseas. Now who owns that foreign sweatshop? I don't know, but the locks have American keys. First dollar on the wall, make you feel like standing tall. Got your future in your hands, proud to be a citizen of this land. They're squeezing the small folk right out of business in the name of free enterprise. There's 10 million people out of work right now while us corporate skyscrapers rise. Don't say America's gone lazy, it's the economy gone crazy. If we don't change, we're gonna lose. Got the small business blues. There goes the finger pick. Don't say America's gone lazy, it's the economy gone crazy. If we don't change, we're gonna lose. I got the small business blues. Since I played that thing, let me try that. Yeah. Well, about a year later, I was on a radio show with Pete Seeger, and it was Bob Sherman's show here in New York City, Woody's Children, and we were publicizing the Great Hudson River Revival and doing things back and forth, and so I got a chance to play it for Pete, you know, and afterwards he was very gracious. He says, "That's the best version of that song I ever heard, Tom." So it made me feel great. Howard Burson, Small Business Blues. See how old that is? I was working in a textile printing plant, making lots of money back in '68. Woo! By '75, we doubled production, but the bank said too late. But of course, the story keeps up. You know, the international products do hurt a lot of our working folks. So I thought maybe I'd do a little bit of Reverend Gary Davis. Now, my friend Stephen Grossman, who I haven't seen in a while now, but he was a high school year of mine in 1962 at Brooklyn Technical High School, one of 6,000 boys in Brooklyn Technical High School. And we started a folk music club, and that's how I met Stephen Grossman. And who, those of you who don't know who he is, he has really studied so hard in the great guitar players and done a number of books and recordings and teachings of how to play Reverend Gary Davis and a bunch of other folks. And anyway, one day I saw this kind of finger stuff he was doing, and at that point I was playing with fingers, with finger picks, because my brother Harry played banjo in the Chapin Brothers, and it was really loud, so I needed to play something that was loud enough, but I didn't like the flat pick. I didn't know how to do that. So I could do this at this point, and play. Then I learned how to finger pick. Get the thumb going like this, like the left-handed piano, chink, 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 and then you play fingers on top of that. Freight train. And I thought I was doing pretty good until I heard Stephen Grossman play this stuff, and I said, "What's that?" He said, "Oh, I learned it from Reverend Gary Davis." Reverend Gary Davis, he's up in Harlem. He's from Durham, North Carolina, or down in Greenville, North Carolina. He was a blind street singer, but he's a brilliant guitarist. And so look him up. Just Google Reverend Gary Davis. And he's gone now. But he came up to New York for a while because in the beginning of the folk revival, people discovered he was still alive after he recorded all these religious songs back in the 20s and 30s, but he was still alive in the early 60s. And so Stefan invited my brother Harry and myself to go up to one of his lessons in the afternoon after school. And so we jumped on the A train and then took the C train, the IND line up to Harlem, and got off and walked about 7 or 8 blocks underneath this big apartment house underneath, and in the back and in the yard and behind these apartment houses was a little house, and there was Reverend Gary Davis and his wife, and I think he paid, I don't know, $10 or something for an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and Harry and I just sat there and watched, and it changed my world. He was playing this, teaching him how to do this. Just watching him play with these two fingers, that pump and thumb, and then this wonderful ragtime stuff, because he was trying to sound like a ragtime piano player. So let me do a couple of things that I learned partly by myself and partly from Scott Ainsley, another great blues guitarist. He goes like this. This is called... Together right down here. Let us get together right down here. Let us get together right here. Oh, let us get together, children, right down here. Let us sing together right down here. Let us sing together right down here. Let us sing together right down here. Oh, let us get together, children, right down here. Let us lead our leaders right down here. Let us lead our leaders right down here. Let us lead our leaders right down here. Oh, let us get together, children, right down here. Some bright morn when this weary world is over, I'll fly away to my home on God's celestial shore. Oh, I'll fly away. Oh, I'll fly away. Oh, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by. Oh, I'll fly away. I'll fly away. Well, I had a couple of requests. Here's one from Gary Bierman a couple of weeks ago. I said, would you please play A Study's About to Begin? And that's a song that John Forster and I wrote together. And it goes like this. A little bit of a broadside. My sewer backed up every time that it rained, so I went to the mayor of my town and complained. He said, we're on the case, Charlie, where have you been? A study's about to begin. A study of what? The sewer is shot. He said, questions are easy, answers are not. We're spending a mint on these think tanky types. Any money that's left when they're done goes for pipes. Hip hip hooray, we're well on our way. A study's about to begin. Hip hip relax, we're gathering facts before we go blundering in. I'm sorry your basement's afloat, and to get to your furnace you borrowed a boat. We're right with you, Charlie, if we can hang in. A study's about to begin. This is your part. Yeah, 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 yeah. Try it again. Yeah, 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 yeah. Acid rain had been killing on my land, so I wrote to my congressman, please take a stand. He cabled me back saying help is at hand. A study's about to begin. Hip hip hurroo, if the funding comes through, a study is due to begin. Hip hip hooray, by April or May, that is if the Democrats win. I'm rushing this study thing through while there's trees left for paper to print up a few. But there's only so much a mere mortal can do. A study's about to begin. You got it? Yeah, 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 yeah. The lawn, said my wife, you should mow it today. In my mind I said, forget it, no way. But recent experience had taught me to say, a study's about to begin. Hip hip for days, it's a magical phrase. A study's about to begin. Hip hip, the grass is up to my knee. Still I go Still I am stroking my chin. For a problem takes time to come clear, and a good study drags on year after year. In the meanwhile, the problem might just disappear. A study's about to begin. I could mow it today, but what would it pay? Sit tight for 6 weeks. We could sell it for hay, or just wait for winter. It will all go away. A study's about to begin. Last chance. Yeah, 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 yeah. A study's about to begin. A study's about to begin. Well, my brother-in-law was, my wife's older brother, was a very famous geochemist named Wallace Broker, Dr. Wallace Broker. And he is the one who's credited with, in 1975 in a paper, the first one to mention and use the term global warming. And a lot of other things. He also studied the Atlantic and the great, what he called the Great Conveyor Belt, which is the heat. The Atlantic warms up in the south, goes up north and heats Western Europe and heats us, and then as it gets, the water gets cooler, the salt makes it sink, and it goes down below again and goes. And there was this incredible New York Times thing. You can look it up. The great conveyor belt and the question of global warming and Wally, Uncle Wally, in the New York Times in maybe 2001, something like that, 2000, I guess. There was a whole article about his theories that he and his fellow scientists and the students working with him, they had mapped the whole conveyor belt in the Atlantic. And that 12,000 years ago, we had an ice age here, and one of the big reasons was that the conveyor belt stopped. So I read this whole thing, and I wrote a song for Uncle Wally and about this. And then years later, he died about 4 or 5 years ago. But I saw him again, and he liked to have me sing that song. And he said, it's not exactly true now. Things have changed. And great strengths as a scientist, which is you don't sit there with, this is my idea, I'm going to stick with it. But when things change, he changed, which is really remarkable. However, now it turns out that reading this article in the Times, and with beautiful graphics online, that may be a whole lot more true now than it was when Wally died, and because of the melting of the ice caps. So here's a song that's a little historic song that I wrote for Uncle Wally. It's called Uncle Wally's Tale. It's time, by gosh, by golly, for a tale told by Uncle Wally. It's a tale that he told me, a tale that you and I should know. In the Atlantic is a current, a conveyor belt type current that flows north and south and gives off heat, more heat than the summer sun. And mightier this current than 100 Amazon rivers, and the heat that it delivers makes Western Europe run. The equator heats the water, which flows north to warm up Europe. That cools the current, so it sinks, heads south, and starts again. And if not for this heat conveyor, all Europe would be icebound, and Paris would be Moscow, perched on the frozen sand. Uncle Wally says to look out for the climate, for the climate could be changing very soon. Uncle Wally says to look out for the climate. This is Uncle Wally's climate tune. As we humans heat the earth up, we don't know what might happen. This current could decide to stop in just 10 years or so. And though it all seems crazy, Europe plunging in an ice age, Uncle Wally says it happened here 12,000 years ago. For when the world heats up, the Atlantic heats up too. Some of the ice cap melts, and in a blink, less salt in the water means the water won't sink. What we gonna do when the water won't sink and that conveyor belt is through? Uncle Wally says to look out for the climate and the fossil fuels we burn out of control. If we don't face up to our sins of emissions, we may see the common market catch a cold. Now logic seems to whisper, while money seems to shout, and the only place big business walks is on the bottom line. So we don't hear Uncle Wally's tale when we're voting on pollution. And I suggest we might invest in Gore-Tex at this time. Uncle Wally says to look out for the climate, 'cause our politicians live in a cocoon. It's you and I must speak and vote the climate. This is Uncle Wally's climate tune. This is Uncle Wally's climate tune. And the climate could be changing very soon. This is Uncle Wally Broker's tune. Uncle Wally Broker's tune. Well, amazing thing, science. And having a brother-in-law who was such on the forefront was really pretty amazing. If you want to look him up, it's all over. His name is all over that article. His name is Dr. Wallace Broecker, Broecker, and I married Bonnie Broecker. So let's do just a couple things with the auto harp here. Claudia asked me to sing this song, which is when the winter wind's calling, when snow is a-falling, your cold feet are dragging the ground. When you're stuck in the storm, looking for warm, home is the welcoming sound. When the summer suns blaze, put your mind in a haze, and you feel like you're coming unwound. When you run helter-skelter, looking for shelter, home is the welcoming sound. Cool in the summer, warm in the winter, sheltering all the year round. Wherever I ramble, wherever I roam, home is the welcoming sound. When your friends are all taken, you're feeling forsaken, your smile is turned into a frown. When it seems like your poor heart is all coming apart, home is the welcoming sound. Cool in the summer, warm in the winter, sheltering all the year round. Wherever I ramble, wherever I roam, home is the welcoming sound. There are family and friends standing by you, though it seems like you're out on your own. Whoever you are, wherever you go, you are not alone. I'm a daddy who travels, who works on the road, and it seems like I'm always outbound. But though we're apart, deep down in my heart, home is the welcoming sound. Cool in the summer, warm in the winter, sheltering all the year round. Wherever I ramble, wherever I roam, home is the welcoming sound. Home is the welcoming sound. And I don't like to say goodbye. I don't want today to end, but we will be happy together tomorrow. Together tomorrow again. Help me out. Together tomorrow. Together tomorrow, my friend. We will be happy together tomorrow. Together tomorrow again. Now you may walk a rocky road, my road may twist and bend. We'll share all our stories when we get together, together tomorrow again. we must pass away, never to come again. Tonight when I'm sleeping, I'll dream of us being together tomorrow again. Together tomorrow, together tomorrow, my friend. Tonight when I'm sleeping, I'll dream of us being together tomorrow again. I'll see you Thursday, and with the ladies, and we got a bunch of birthdays this week, so we'll probably do some birthday songs. And thank you so much. Talk to you all soon. Thanks for those of you who joined me for my birthday on Saturday night. It was a lovely night, and getting a chance to talk to some of you, and those of you who chipped in, thank you so much. We'll see you soon.